Hare Krishna Mataji. Please welcome to this program. So let us get the blessings of ISKCON Seshadripuram deities here. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Gauranitai ki jai, Vamnadev ki jai, Narsimha Bhagavan ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Today we are going to see chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized, and 58th sloka. It's a very interesting sloka. So here it goes. Yada samharate chaham कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणि इन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. यदा संहरते चाहं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणि इन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. So Arjuna has already asked 4 questions to Krishna. Krishna has already answered 2 of them. Now this is like the 2 questions were, what are the general symptoms of a Sthita Prajna? Sthita Prajna is a person whose conscious is fixed. So Arjuna is asking Krishna, what are the general symptoms of a Sthita Prajna? And his second question was, how does he speak? What is his way of speaking? What is the way of speaking for Sthita Prajna? He's very curious. So Krishna answered those 2. And now here in this sloka, like Arjuna asked, how does a Sthita Prajna sits? What is meant by sits here? How to control the senses? How does a Sthita Prajna controls his senses? So from this sloka 58 to 6 more sloka, this is going to be a set. How Krishna is approaching these questions and answering to Arjuna. So we are going to see this. Let us just go a little bit more on this sloka. Krishna says, when one is able to wind up indriyani, the senses, from indriyartha, the sense object. So such a person is fixed in perfect consciousness. That's what he says. Tasya prajna pratishtita. Like when he is able to do this, they gave an analogy here. They are just like saying, similar to when one person is able to wind up his senses, similar to yada samharate kurmongani vasarvasaha, like a tortoise, where one is able to control his senses like a tortoise, then such a person is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. That's what Krishna says. So we are going to discuss more about this here. And this is a very interesting sloka. Why it is very interesting means because it says how to control the senses, which is a very, very difficult thing in the whole universe, right? So Krishna is going to reveal all those things. because this sloka talks about how to control the senses. That is why it is very interesting. In the next next six set of slokas, Krishna is revealing these secrets to us. So now, the test of a transcendentalist. What is the test of a transcendentalist is how is he able to control his senses according to his plan. That's what Prabhupada says here in the pulpit also. The test of a transcendentalist is how is he able to control his senses according to his plan. Now, there are two categories of people. One is Goswami and the other one is Godasa. So now let us talk about Goswami. Ideally speaking, we all should be the master of senses. Goswami, Goswami. Go are the senses, Goswami, master of senses. Ideally speaking, we should be that, because the senses are matter and we are spiritual souls. So the spirit is always higher than the matter. The spirit should be controlling the matter. So in that case, when the spirit has a control of matter, when we have a control of our senses, then we are mastering our senses. The senses becomes our friend. Then that stage is called Goswami. But are we able to do this? Mostly cannot. Most of the people. So what is happening is the senses started controlling us. The senses started controlling the soul. So we have become the servant of the senses. So in that case, dasa, we have become the dasa of the senses. So that type of people are called Godasa. So these are the two type of categories which Prabhupada is mentioning, Goswami and Godasa. And also he's also talking about two analogies based on this category. One of that is senses are compared to the venomous serpent. So it is very, very dangerous. So senses are just compared to a venomous serpent. They can kill these type of senses. The venomous serpent can kill the opportunity for us to attain the perfection of life, to attain the Krishna consciousness. They can kill the opportunities, these senses. But what happens is, for a devotee, even for a devotee, senses are there. But what the Sthita Prajna are like snake charmers. They know how to control the snake. They too have senses. They know how to control the senses. They are like snake charmers. It's very nice. Whatever powerful, whatever poisonous the snake is, it gets controlled under the snake charmer. So senses are also like that. For a Sthita Prajna, the senses are controlled. He knows how to control his senses. And one more analogy, what we are seeing in this sloka is, we all know what a tortoise turtle or like. As soon as the tortoise senses his enemies coming, immediately it just withdraws his limbs into the shell, and the shell exactly looks like a stone. So whoever comes to attack any another animal or any person or whoever it is, like, no, nobody can be find it. It gets camouflaged and the limbs are drawn into it. So tortoise is very, very intelligent in this. So similarly, a Krishna conscious person is steady in his mind, intelligent, and his conscious is fixed. This type of Krishna conscious person whose mind is steady, intelligent he is, and whose mind is fixed, he only knows when to withdraw his senses. He acts like a tortoise. Whenever he needs, he uses his senses. That is using his senses only for the service of the Lord, only for the service of Krishna. Other than that, he just withdraws his senses. So that is how smart a Krishna conscious person is. That is how smart a Sthita Prajna is. He behaves like a snake charmer. He knows how to control his senses and where to withdraw his senses and where to use his senses. To be said, he uses his senses only in the service of Krishna. So now for us, how are we going to attain this stage? How to reach this stage? To reach this stage, using the senses for the service of Krishna, we can do this by following the do's and don'ts which are mentioned in the scriptures. And the scriptures are the only thing. The do's and don'ts are mentioned in the scriptures. We have to follow that do's and don'ts under the guidance of a spiritual master. When we do this, this is very good for a neophyte also. Like for a neophyte, it is absolutely, for everyone, it is absolutely the perfect thing. Trying to follow the do's and don'ts, trying to follow the instructions which is given in the scriptures for under the guidance of a spiritual master is the best practice for attaining the level and the best practice in the path of bhakti. So when this is being done, automatically, whatever it is, wherever the situation is placed, our conscious is pulled up to the level where our senses, we use it only in the service of Krishna. Automatically it happens. So when that day comes for one, then that person is called as Goswami, mastering the senses, master of senses. So in this sloka, it's been explained how can we raise from the lower level of Godasa to Goswami. Prabhupada is very clearly explaining here. He is also mentioning here in this sloka, Arjuna is being taught here to use his senses for the service of the Lord instead of for his own satisfaction. Actually, throughout the, like in the beginning of the war, Arjuna is always thinking about his self-satisfaction. What will happen if I just fight? I am going to kill everyone and I'll not be happy. And after killing everyone, like even if I win the war, like what am I going to do? What will I do? How will I enjoy when my people are not there, when I have killed them? So Arjuna is throughout thinking about his personal satisfaction and his happiness. Krishna is slowly watching this and he says now in this, wait, come on, stop. Krishna tells, start utilizing your senses in my service. So this is how Krishna is very nicely telling everyone, start utilizing your senses in my service. That is the stage of a Sthita Prajna. That is how a Sthita Prajna will work on. That is the stage of a Goswami. Having said all these things, still it is very difficult for us how to control the senses. That is the toughest part, because senses are there to enjoy, right? So but how are we going to continue? How are we going to continue following this? How are we going to control our senses? So Krishna is giving a thumb rule for everyone how to do this, how to control the senses. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah. So Krishna is giving a thumb rule for us how to control the senses. In the next coming slokas, everything will be revealed. So let us wait and attend the program regularly to hear more on this topic, what Krishna is going to tell us. Thank you so much, Matajis and Prabhujis, for attending today's program. And any questions and any comments to add on, please welcome. Vancha kalparupyascha kripa sindhobhyo vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. With all your blessings, thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji.